Happy Thanksgiving Day and welcome to the #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as 13.6 billion in Bitcoin options expire tomorrow, Friday. We'll also be discussing breaking news: Russia to treat Bitcoin as property and exempt from VAT tax after the bill passed Parliament's upper house. It now awaits at the desk of President Putin. We'll also be discussing U.S. Treasury under Trump could take a different approach to the tornado cash, as well as Marathon Digital purchases 6,474 Bitcoin with convertible notes offering. Let's go. Well, as we discussing, Bitcoin hasn't yet reached the parabolic phase, according to the trader that called the 2021 crypto collapse. We'll also be discussing buying Bitcoin in 2013 was like buying gold in 1000 BC, according to the Pantera CEO, who's now up more than 130,000% from their initial Bitcoin purchase back in July of 2013. And speaking of the Pantera CEO, they say Bitcoin will hit $140,000 by this particular date. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more on Thanksgiving Day. So welcome, y'all. What's crack-a-lackin'? First and foremost, let's strike the gong and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. If you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes, then go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every day, just like this, including on holidays, such as today. Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen. But anyways, let's kick it off with our market watch, as I do each and every day. It's November 28th, obviously. Big day, Thanksgiving celebration. Historically, we hit new all-time highs on November 28th, especially year of the halving. So let's see how she plays out. The day is still young. But checking out Coin 360, as you can see on your screen, Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, the majority of the alts correcting and in the red. Bitcoin, massive volatility yesterday. We did a 15-hour pump watch. How many of you were on the stream? We saw Bitcoin start the day at 91, blast off to 97.3, and then correct back to where we're currently at 95,000. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap is currently sitting at 3.3 trillion, which is pretty strong. It's right on the cusp of the all-time high. And the Bitcoin market cap is 1.88 trillion dollars. We got 172 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. And the Bitcoin dominance is on the decline, down to 57%. The Ether dominance is at an even 0.2 at 13% even. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours, we got ENS leading the pack, followed by WorldCoin and FET. Which alts, if any, broskies, are you bullish on for the bull? Let me know. And checking out crypto bubbles, get a visual perspective on the day. Safe to say the majority of the market correcting and in the red. I'd say maybe 65-ish% in the red. And zooming out on the monthly, good to see virtually everything in the green. Pretty impressive gains overall. Many of the alts up over 100%, some up 200%. XLM up 400%. XRP even up 180%. For Christ's sake, HBAR 190%. Bonk 96%. Algo 147%. Right? Pepe 106%. Doge 132%. Mana 97%. If you're having fiat problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems. Bitcoin ain't one. Hit me. Extreme greed 77. There you go. Yesterday a 75, last week a 82, and last month a 72. Greed. And checking out the time chain calendar, we have 177,624 blocks until the halving of 2028. Will the Bitcoin price be 7 figures by that time? Will we 10x from here by the time of the next halving? That's my question for you, fam. Today we're at block number 872,376. You can currently get 1,052 Satoshis per dollar. As you should know, one Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million sats. And by the time a sat is valued at $1, we're talking $100 million Bitcoin price. So stack them sats, family. Headline reads, 13.6 billion in Bitcoin options expire tomorrow on Black Friday. Can the bulls push the biddy price to 100 G's? I say yes. Let's send it. This event provides the bulls with a pivotal opportunity to push the Bitcoin price above 100 Gs, making it crucial to access the impact of a call and put options set to expire again tomorrow, November 29th. Pretty significant day in the market. The S&P 500 struggled to maintain levels above 6,000 over the past 3 weeks, signaling growing investor caution. This shift in sentiment is reflected for the U.S. 5-year Treasury yield, which declined 4% November 15th to the current 4.12%. Investors increasingly prioritize government bonds relative to safety, even at lower returns. Periods of macroeconomic uncertainty, often driven by fears of an economic slowdown, typically trigger a flight to quality, prompting investors to exit riskier assets. Still, the 5% rebound from Bitcoin's 90,700 low, November 26, suggests that confidence remains strong amid 34% gains over the last 30 days. That's right. Just to understand the volatility, 30 days ago, we were in the 60s. Today, we're in the 90s. Yesterday, I woke up, we were 91. And by the end of my pump watch in the evening, before I went to bed, we were 97. And now we're right back down to 95. Expect more massive volatility and price swings, family. In a research note dated November 27th, economist Pantheon said that the U.S. PCE inflation could rise 3% if Trump implements import tariffs, which it sounds like he's going to be doing, according to Yahoo Finance. Quoting Barclays analyst here, temporary and uncertain tariffs of this nature create natural incentives to delay investments. And from the broader perspective, Bitcoin call options for November 29th hold an aggregate notional value of $7.4 billion on Deribit, CME, OKX, Binance, Bybit, surpassing the $6.2 billion in open interest options by 19%. This disparity is narrower than typical trends, as crypto traders often lean in the bullish. And notably, only 20% of the call options have strike price or above 100,000, representing $4 trillion in notional value for the November expiry. So below are the 4 most probable scenarios for the Deribit exchange based on the current prices. So let me break this one down. Number 1, between 86 and 90,000, net outcome favors the call, which is the buy options, by 1.6 billion. Number 2, between 90,000 and 94,000, net outcome favors the call, the buy options, by 2.6 billion. Number 3, between 94 and 98,000, net outcome favors the call, the buy options, by 3.5 billion. And number 4, between 98 and 102,000, which sends us to our 6-figure all-time high. The net result favoring the call buy options by 4.5 billion. So ultimately, the bears face substantial pressure to drive the Bitcoin price below 90 Gs before the end of November. We have 2 days left, the 29th and the 30th. Saturday is the last day of the month, family. However, Bitcoin's resilience amid the inflation concerns suggests the price could reach 100,000 or higher soon after these Bitcoin options expire. So the question becomes, when? 100K. Will it be before the end of November or at the end of the month or next month in December? Let me know. And breaking news just in, this is a pretty big deal. Russia to treat Bitcoin as property and exempt from the VAT tax. After the bill passed Parliament's upper house, it now awaits President Putin's signature. One signature away from making that a reality. Let's go, Russia. Please stand up. Stacking the biddy, game theory in full effect. Let's continue with the news and knock it out the park, shall we? Let's discuss the latest with the ruling with Tornado Cash. U.S. Treasury under Trump could take a different approach to Tornado Cash. And how many of you have ever used the Tornado Cash? Let me know. It's ultimately a mixer. Many in the crypto industry are still reeling from the appellate court decision for the U.S. Department of the Treasury Office of the Foreign Asset Control overstep in sanctioning certain smart contracts associated with the crypto mixer, Tornado Cash. November 26th, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit ruled the OFAC exceeded its statutory authority when it sanctioned some of the Tornado Cash immutable smart contracts in 2022. And though the ruling did not close the door in the Treasury Department case, 6 plaintiffs backed by Coinbase may see policy changes in 2025 impacting how the court handle addresses associated with crypto mixers. Now, Bill Hughes, Consensus's senior counsel and director of the Global Regulatory Matters, shared the OFAC still has a lot of authority to sanction entities connected to Tornado Cash. November's 26th judgment will likely see the case sent down to the lower court, where lawyers can refile motions for summary judgment, a process which usually takes months. And with a new presidential administration under Trump expected January 20th, 2025, the Treasury may adapt its sanctions regime to align with the court decision or continue to fight the matter on appeal. Quoting them here, I actually think under a Trump administration, it is more likely that this opinion will be adopted as Treasury policy, said Hughes, adding it was still unlikely the Treasury would change Tornado Cash sanction status before Trump takes office. Quoting him again, it is to be seen how hawkish the Trump administration is on these national security issues as they relate to crypto. I could see the Treasury under a Trump administration basically adopting the court's analysis of immutable smart contracts. Trump said in 2018 that he and North Korea leader Kim Jong-un fell in love after an in-person meeting and exchanging letters. How romantic. He did not discuss how he might handle sanctions involving the reclusive nation during his 2024 presidential campaign. Under Biden, OFAC added 44 Tornado Cash smart contract addresses to its list of specifically designated nationals in August of 2022. The department alleged individuals used the mixer to launder more than $7 billion worth of crypto, including funds stolen by North Korea affiliate Lazarus Group. Now, Trump will bring new leadership, clearly, to the Treasury and other government departments in January. And on November 22nd, the president-elect said he intended to nominate Scott Bessent, one of the donors and financial advisors, as his Treasury Secretary. Let me know if you've ever heard of him. In addition to the Fifth Circuit case, crypto advocacy group Coin Center filed a lawsuit against the Treasury over Tornado Cash back in 2022. There are parallels between the two cases, with lawyers for the respective parties arguing that the mixer itself or a related smart contract was not subject to sanctions. So there you go. Yeah. Prosecution of Tornado Cash developers. Let's just touch upon this. Back last year, U.S. authorities with the Justice Department announced charges against the co-founders, Roman Storm and Roman Semenov. Storm was arrested and scheduled to go to trial April 2025 after Trump takes office, while Semenov was one of FBI's most wanted. Jesus Christ. Can't make this ish up. If I had to bet, I think the prosecution of Storm is going to go forward, says Hughes. There's going to be a trial, and he's either acquitted or others are going to get calls from the crypto community for President Trump to commute his sentence or pardon him outright. There you go. And my prediction stands. I still think the Biden administration will pardon Bankman-Fried before they leave office. I hope I'm wrong, but what are your thoughts on that one? And that's actually a bet over on Polymarket. It's one of the prediction markets, interestingly enough. Authorities in the Netherlands sentenced the third Tornado Cash co-founder, Alexei, to more than 5 years in prison for money laundering. He remains in custody as his lawyers prepare to appeal the conviction and sentence. But there you have it. I think naturally a lot of the laws with Trump in office are going to be a lot more lax, meaning looser. With the crypto industry, I think there'll be a lot less lawsuits, a lot less overreaching when Nipsey overtakes Gary Gensler's position as the SEC. But you let me know your thoughts. I'll read them out loud. And again, happy Thanksgiving, family. This is big news as well. Marathon Digital purchases 6,474 Bitcoin with convertible notes offering. That's right. Mining company Mara, formerly Marathon Digital, updated investors yesterday, November 27th, outlining its acquisition of 6,474 Bitcoin through its recent 0% $1 billion convertible note offering. And according to the announcement, the company purchased an additional 703 Bitcoin following the initial purchase of 5,771 Bitcoin at an average price of $95,395 per coin. That's what's up. The year-to-date per-share yield of Marathon's Bitcoin is 36.7%, and Marathon currently holds roughly 34,797 of the Bitty in its treasury, valued at $3.3 billion. Let's go. Marathon also purchased a portion of the 2026 notes for $200 million. It'll use the roughly $160 million remaining from the convertible debt raise to purchase more Bitcoin at more attractive levels during the price dips. The mining company's recent $1 billion convertible debt offering takes a page out of the MicroStrategy playbook of issuing corporate debt to acquire more Bitcoin, a strategy that is growing in popularity amongst corporate institutions. We all know it started with Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy back in, that was in 2020, the first publicly traded company to put a biddy on the balance sheet. Now look at that. Marathon, Riot, Hut, these are all the Bitcoin miners. Core Scientific, Bit Digital, TeraWulf, they're all adopting the biddy on the balance sheet, as they should. We also have Tesla, SpaceX, of course, BlackRock, all the major asset management giants. We also have the Japanese version of MicroStrategy, Metaplanet, doing its thing over in Japan. Now, MicroStrategy has been purchasing Bitcoin since 2020. The company's most recent debt raise was $3 billion senior convertible note issued at a 0% interest. The capital raise is part of the company's ambitious 2021 plan to secure $42 billion in funding over the next 3 years to purchase more Bitcoin and strengthen the balance sheet. Despite the plan to use fiat-denominated debt to acquire the biddy, the heightened investor interest in the company, the price of MicroStrategy shares sank by 25%. November 21st, the company purchased approximately 55,000 Bitcoin between the 18th and the 24th of this month at an average price of $97,800 per biddy. This puts MicroStrategy's total Bitcoin holdings at roughly 386,700 BTC, making the company one of the largest holders of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy critics say the acquisition of the Bitcoin through debt financing is risky. Yeah, critics like Peter Schiff, but who cares what he has to say? MicroStrategy could face financial trouble if the price of Bitcoin sharply declines. But we all know it's going up forever, Laura. I mean, don't take it from me. Here's what Michael Saylor has to say.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Happy Thanksgiving. Next story. Headline reads, Bitcoin hasn't yet reached parabolic phase, according to the trader that called the 2021 crypto collapse. And speaking of the Nippinator, what kind of animal we got there? That almost looks like Peanut the squirrel. Now I'm low-key sad. Rest in peace, Peanut the squirrel. But anyways, crypto analysts known for making accurate Bitcoin calls believes Bitcoin still has yet to enter the most explosive phase of the market cycle. We're talking Dave the Wave, shared with his 147,000 followers on X. Bitcoin remains on track to soar into the six figures despite its recent dip into the low 90s. According to the trader, Bitcoin moves in 4-year cycles. And if it were to mirror past price action, a parabolic move remains on the horizon. Quoting him here, one positive, if the Bitcoin price does correct, is that it has as yet not gone parabolic, remaining in a technical upwards channel. Dave the Wave also shares a chart suggesting Bitcoin will likely hit 110,000 in the near term. I think that is very probable, in my opinion. I've been calling for 124,000, which is the current cup and handle target on the weekly chart. And now that I think about it, I think I bypassed and totally forgot to share the live charts. I'll make it up for you during the Q&A. We'll pull up the live charts, family. Bitcoin's 4-year cycle is based on the halving events, which we all know. When Bitcoin miner rewards are slashed in half, the reduction in new coins coming into the market historically coincided with the higher price levels for the Bitcoin. The most recent halving, as you know, occurred April 19th. We actually did a halving pump watch, which was pretty fun. The trader shared the chart below, suggesting Bitcoin will likely hit a cycle top above 200,000 next year. Boom shakalaka. The Bitcoin halfway to the interim technical target, which would see it break the six-figure barrier. I'll reiterate my personal target, which is right in alignment. My bear scenario for 2025 cycle peak is 222,000. My bull scenario is 750,000. In fact, I think I just recently upped my bull scenario to 1 million because the Oracle is rubbing off on me. So shout out to the Oracle. Let me know your price predictions for the rest of obviously this year, Q4 for December, as well as the cycle peak in 2025. So here we go. Next story of the day. Buying Bitcoin in 2013 was like buying gold in 1000 BC. Before Christ, according to the Pantera CEO. That's right, Dan Morehead, one of the OGs of the OGs, founder and managing partner of Pantera, first crypto fund of the U.S., even beat Cathie Wood's ARK Invest to the race. Once told a skeptical investor that buying Bitcoin was like buying gold during the Iron Age. That's right, exactly, perfect metaphor. The fund is now up, Jesus Christ, 130,000% from his initial investment. Morehead said in his blog post, quoting him here, I was discussing Bitcoin with an early investor yesterday, and he replied somewhat dismissively, "It's just like buying gold." "No, it's like buying gold in 1000 before Christ," said Morehead, quoting an investment memo he wrote back in August of 2013. Here's the receipt. I think I even read this the other day, but it's so powerful I'll read it again. Dated July 5th, 2013, from Dan Morehead. Yes, please. Subject, very timely. "We should buy Bitcoin now at $65. And this is the content of the email. "The forecast Bitcoin washout happened very quickly. Bitcoins are now trading at $65 per Bitcoin, exactly half the price they were trading at our first meeting May 28th. I think we should buy aggressively now. Here's my brief thoughts. The market cap of all the Bitcoins ever created is now 740 million. On May 28th, 20 million would buy 156,000 Bitcoin. Now it'll buy 308,000. The price is going way up. Is going to squeeze up like a watermelon seed. I'm going to buy 30,000 Bitcoins this weekend with personal money. The fund can have this purchase or not as others wish. I just want to get involved." Amen. I mean, Dan is the OG of all OGs. There's the proof of work. Morehead launched Pantera Bitcoin Fund back in July of 2013 and since made 1,000 times lifetime return on its first purchase at $74. Is that math wrong, gentlemen? It seems like it may even be more than 1,000x. Let me know if that's inaccurate. He said that 1% of financial wealth hadn't even come across Bitcoin at that time. And when more did, Bitcoin would either go to zero or go up by orders of magnitude. And we all know if it's not going to zero, it's going up forever, Laura. Morehead doesn't think it's possible for Bitcoin to go down to zero. Precisely, it's impossible. Bitcoin has reached the escape velocity. Amen to that. 300 million people globally owning it, including the largest asset management giants in the world, such as the BlackRock. Morehead said 5% of his financial wealth is exposed to Bitcoin, but that number is bound to rise with more regulatory clarity in the United States of America, leading to faster institutional Bitcoin adoption. BlackRock and Fidelity are not slowing down. They're just going to keep printing more Bitcoin out of thin air because they have infinite funds and they rule the world. You guys know this. I'm preaching to the choir now. Now for our feature story of the day. Pantera says Bitcoin is going to hit 740,000 by April 2028, which is just in time for the next halving, right around the corner. All eyes on the next halving. We just obviously had a halving back in April of this year, and the block rewards got cut in half. And currently there's, I believe, 450 Bitcoin minted per day. And by the time of the next halving, that's going to get sliced in half and make the asset that much more scarce. So let's break this baby down. Reflecting on Pantera Capital's journey since launching the Bitcoin Fund 11 years ago, Morehead acknowledged the skepticism they faced back in 2013. People totally thought we were crazy in 2013, he stated. And I previous story shared with you the actual email that he wrote encouraging his investors to buy some of the Bitcoin. And he was using his personal money to do so at $65 per coin. The executive views this prevailing pessimism as a positive sign, reinforcing his bullish stance. So many people are still negative. It is far from being a bubble. Preach. Now, Pantera's Bitcoin Fund yielded a substantial lifetime return of 132,000% since inception of July of 2013, when Bitcoin was valued just shy of $74. Morehead predicts Bitcoin will eventually reach 740,000 per coin by the time of the next halving. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Attributing this potential growth to a changing regulatory landscape. We call it the Trump pump. Morehead highlighted the shift from the 15-year regulatory headwinds to tailwinds, particularly citing the more crypto-friendly policies expected from President-elect Trump. The original Bitcoin Fund launched by Pantera, notable for being the first to provide U.S. investors with direct exposure to Bitcoin. Having recently traded at, again, we almost hit 100 grand just 5 days ago. 99.9 is the new all-time high. Price discovery, we may return here today. The day is still young, fellas. The Bitcoin price is up 120% for the year. Morehead also discussed Pantera's new venture fund, Pantera Fund V, which aims to raise $1 billion to invest in various blockchain assets, including private tokens and special opportunities, such as locked Solana tokens from the FTX estate. Quoting them here, "Fortunately, we raised the big fund right before the industry-wide blow-ups in 2022, Morehead remarked, noting that this timing has allowed them to deploy capital effectively over the last few years. The company's founder pointed out that many generalist firms have exited the crypto space, leaving fewer competitors in the market. This environment has reportedly ended Pantera's capital to secure better pricing and more advantageous deals. Morehead, who has a background as a trader of Goldman Sachs, maybe close to Gary, Mr. Chairman of the SEC, also from Goldman, also commented on Trump's proposal for the U.S. Bitcoin stockpile. He described the idea as rational, arguing that holding gold as a reserve is an outdated method of storing wealth. If they put some of that money into Bitcoin, that's a fantastic way to have a reserve currency holding. And that's right in alignment with Cynthia Lummis is suggesting to the U.S. government. Sell your gold and put it into the Bitcoin. Right? It's a no-brainer if you're to ask me. But let me know your thoughts with that $740,000 price target by the time of the next halving in April of 2028. And I'll read your comments out loud. Welcome, everybody, to the Q&A segment of the live stream. And let's run it back. I'm going to pull up some of the live charts, and we'll look at what's crack-a-lacking right now in the market during our Q&A. So as you can see here, this is the 1-hour chart. We do have a bullish pennant. We have a lot of targets in play, but let's actually start here. We have a blue target, which is sitting at 105,000. Obviously, roughly 10,000 jump, just a simple God candle away from where we're currently at. You can see the bullish pennant formation, but we also have the falling wedge previous right before the bullish pennant. So lots of volatility in the market. Zooming out from the 1 hour, we'll check out the 4-hour. 4-hour chart, you can see we have the bullish pennant formation. We do have $108,000 bullish pennant target. We do have a lot of big green bullish candles printed, but the most recent are corrective reds, but they're itty bitty. Let's see what happens from here. And zooming out, we check out the 1-day chart real quick. You can see we formed a big green candle yesterday, which was nice to come back from the big red candle. And now we're currently trading sideways a bit, currently sitting at roughly 95,000, flirting with 95,000 resistance. And zooming out from the 1 day, we'll take a quick look at the weekly. We still have the sexy cup and handle target. Yes, this is live and in the flesh, family. This is via Coinbase, via TradingView. We're still sitting at 124,000, which I believe is in play here. Q4, December, send it. You can see the past 3 weeks, we had big green consecutive weekly candle closes. And zooming out from the weekly, we take a quick look at the monthly. Movember still printing a mega candle. Again, 2 days left until November, and before entering December, right around the corner here. Q4 bullishness, I think we'll continue the bullish momentum, but let me know your thoughts, and we'll keep the charts up here as we do our Q&A segment of the live stream.